Hello, dear aspirants and viewers. Today, in this video, we are going to tell you about the difference on ideal state between Plato and Aristotle. As you know that Plato, as a father of idealism, gave the concept of ideal state in his book, The Republic. And on the other hand, Aristotle, as a father of political science, wrote a lot in his book Politics and in his many other books as well. So, in this video, we are just going to talk about ideal state and a stance or point of view or difference between both Western classical political philosophers. Firstly, we talk about ruling authority. So Aristotle has different point of view as compared to Plato. Do you know that Aristotle gave the concept of king philosopher to rule the ideal state, and to become a king philosopher there is a stage which is formulated on education based. The highest educationist philosopher is to be considered as king, as the members of executive by Plato and of ideal state. And if we talk about Aristotle, Aristotle gave the concept of classification of government and states, and he told that the ruler may be a monarch, maybe maybe a tyrant, maybe a aristocrat, or a form of oligarchy, or polity, or a democracy whatsoever. So if we talk about the ruling authority, then both philosophers have different point of view for the ruling authority on ideal state. The second most important thing for a state is the economic system. And if we talk about economic factor in ideal state, the concept given by Plato was he applied basically communism to some extent on especially king philosopher or ruling authority or ruling class. But on the other hand, if we talk about Aristotle, Aristotle favored private ownership, allowed private ownership, means to say he was in favor of capitalism school of thought, which have to be applied in that ideal state. So this is the major difference of both Western philosophers, that Plato was convinced for communism to some extent in this ideal state, while on the other hand Aristotle was convinced for capitalist school of thought in this ideal state. Then the third and the most important thing for a state is the society, the people who are living within that ideal state, within that territory. So if we talk about the thoughts given by Plato, Plato divided the society into three major segments. And you have taught that Plato said that the first class will be the ruling class, then the warriors, and then lastly the labor class or the worker class. So he divided the society into three different classes on the basis of education or the capability. And while on the other hand Aristotle had different point of view, and his approach for the society was mixed approach. And if we observed him through his classification of state or government, so he said he was convinced that a ruler from the society may be a single person, means to say state ruled by one or a few people or many people. So he gave the mixed approach on the basis of good or bad for the citizens of the society. And lastly, the most important point and stance, that was the justice system, which is very important for any state in the world. So if we talk about justice system given by Plato in ideal state, that was self-justice. He segregated this justice system into two major segments: individual justice and societal justice. And he was convinced that there is no need of any political institution for justice system, and every person, every citizen who is living within the ideal state will be highly literate and justified, and there is no need of any punishment or any other like that setup. While on the other hand, Aristotle again opposed on this stance, on this point of view with Plato, and he was convinced that there should be between excess and deficiency the justice system. Means to say, he said that justice system should be evaluated and implemented through different institutions, and he favored those institutions. So when we talk about any state, then we have to talk about measure these four elements or these four basic segments of the society. So both Western political classical philosophers have different point of view on ruling authority, on economic system of the state, of that ideal state which was proposed at that time, on the society and the role of the society for the state, and on justice system as well. So these are the four major segments or four major things, systems which are very important for a state. As you know, if we talk about the government of the state, then we talked about legislature, then we talk about the executive, and then we talk about the judicial system or judiciary. So both Plato and Aristotle gave different and had different point of view in these four basic elements on the ideal state. Dear aspirants and viewers, in this video we discussed this very important exclusive concept and topic. As if we talk about the exam of competitive 2025, CSS 2025, then there was a question number 2, write a comparative analysis on Aristotle's and Plato's concept of ideal state. So this topic is very important. Take care. Thank you so much for listening us.